Okay, here we go. Alright, so what I did was we found the center on the rock, kind of eyeballed it, or we used a dancing dollar, kind of help us out to fold the dancing dollar up. That kind of helped. Just so we know that's half the dancing dollar. We can kind of like eyeball in, see if this is the center of the dancing dollar, where's the center of the rock, and made our mark. And then you use this as your straight edge, draw your line across this way, and then drawing across this way. So at least you kind of have it lined up. I went off a little bit, but it's okay. As long as you can kind of eyeball the center. I went over it with a white pencil so you can see my line better. But you can use any other pencil as long as you can see your line. Okay? So what you want to do is you get your center dot, and you make your cross. All right. Next step is you have your tools, and you're going to use the eraser head to make your big dots, and then we have here our barbecue skewer to use our tiny dot and our medium-sized dot. Okay, and then you're gonna have to choose only 3 colors. Let me crank this up so you can see a little more. Move my rock out of the way, and I'm gonna choose only 3 colors. And my colors I'm gonna choose. I like this green. I got a gray, and I'm going to choose another contrasting color for that would be maybe, I'll use the white. Okay, so these are my 3 colors. Only 3 colors. That pattern is going to be throughout your whole Mandala stone. Okay? Mandala. Alright, so when you, the amount of paint you need is no more than like a nickel. You don't need anything bigger than a nickel size. So if you don't know what a nickel looks like, you better go get one from your mom. All right. Okay. Nickels are small, a little bit bigger than. That's like a nickel. Maybe a dime to a nickel. Not a quarter. You don't need a quarter size. Okay. Nickel, a dime size. It's gonna go a long ways. And while I'm taking the wrapper off the other one, if you guys do get done before somebody else, you can share the paint, but you're only they have to keep that same 3 colors. Don't be changing your colors and adding stuff. Also, too, just a reminder, the pencil and the barbecue skewer is the only tool we're using. We're not using paint brushes. That's about a dime. That's a tall dime. That's probably even too much. We're not using paint brushes. We're not using our fingers. We're using just the tools to make dots. Sorry, it's taking me a long time to get this wrapper off. I guess I should have did this before I started the video. Alright. And then I get my white. Okay. So now I got my colors about the size of a dime, no more than a nickel. Alright? Here's my rock. I'm going to start with the... Oh, there goes the music. Okay. I'm going to start with the pencil eraser to make my big dot, and I think I'm going to start with green. So I'm just going to dab my pencil eraser in there, right? And I'm just going to, don't need a whole big bunch, and I'm just going to put right there in the center, all right? There you go. Whoa, Mrs. Steph, she did a great job. Sorry, bumped the camera. All right. So next, I'm going to use my... I'm just going to lay that in here. You can also get a paper towel and lay it on top, off to the side, okay? Because you'll need a paper towel to wipe off your paint off your tools while you're changing colors. Okay, so now I'm going to use a tiny dot, okay? And I think I'm going to go for gray. So I got a little tiny dot, and I'm going to use the tiny dots, and I'm going to start with the X, or the cross. So I'm going to put one at the top. And this is gray. Hard to see, I'm sure, for the camera. Put it right on top right there. I need more. See my tiny dot? I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. Let me see if you can see that. I'll bring up the camera. There's a tiny dot right there. See it? Tiny gray dot. Okay. Now, Hey, I have that cross here, right? So now I'm going to get the paint on there. Okay, I have to get a lot of paint to make a dot. And I can go to the bottom of the cross, right below it. Okay, get some more paint, and I'm going to go either to the left or right, and I have to stay on the cross first. Right there. Kind of in the same spacing. Now, please don't tell me Mr. Steffes gray wasn't the best color. It'll stand out later. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. So now I'm going to go in between. Now I have my cross done, right? Let it focus. Now I have to go in between. Okay. So in between right here, I can go the opposite side. I need more paint in that one. Right. Other side. And then the opposite side of that one. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Where's the camera? There you go. Check it out. Now let's look at something, okay? Now, I probably could have made that one a little bigger. Just a tiny bit bigger. But I don't want to go mess with it too much. Alright. So far, so good. So now I got big dot, I got my little dots. Right? So now I'm gonna take this. So I won't get any paint on myself or somebody or anybody else next to me. I should have been playing around, right? I'm gonna wipe that off my little extra piece of paper on the side. Now I'm gonna flip it over. Okay. Now I'm gonna make some medium-sized dots, right? And I'm gonna go for white. Here's my white. And I'm gonna make some medium-sized dots. And here I go. I'm gonna start with the in-between. See right there, in between those dots, the spaces. I'm going to poke them right in between. So here we go. In between. In between. In between. In between. In between. Oops, that's too big. That's okay. It'll survive. In between. That's better. In between. Right? And I'll have to put one there to balance it out. In between. Try to make that size. I made that one a little too big. It's okay if you make a little mistake. Just don't be wiping it up. Now that, I jacked it up right there. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to leave it. You won't really notice it. Okay? Alright, so far so good? Alright. So now I'm going to think about what color I want. Green, gray, white.